Mortimer's Christmas Manger. In a big house lived a wee mouse named Mortimer. He dwelled in a dark hole under the stairs. Nobody ever noticed little Mortimer, and Mortimer liked it that way. But he didn't like his hole. Too cold, too cramped, too creepy, squeaked Mortimer. Each day he snuck out and crept about looking for crumbs and tidbits. And one day, Mortimer spied something new. What he spied was wonderful. He saw a huge tree covered with twinkling lights. Nestled on top was a bright, shining star, but something even better than the tree itself sat next to it on the table. Mortimer sighed with delight. A house just my size! But the house was so high, and Mortimer was so low. I'll climb up the tree, said Mortimer. It made a perfect ladder for a mouse. Finally, he reached the table. Perfect, said Mortimer. Not cold, not cramped, not creepy. It's cozy, but who are you? Mortimer had never seen people so small and almost as small as himself. He had never seen such strange animals either. Tap, tap, tap. Mortimer knocked, but nobody answered. No one moved an inch. I see, squeaked Mortimer. You aren't real. You are statues. And so Mortimer lugged and he tugged, and one by one, he dragged the statues out. When he reached the smallest statue, he saw it was a baby. A baby in a wooden bed just Mortimer's size. There's no room for you here, Mortimer said. Out you go. Then into bed crawled Mortimer. He fell fast asleep in the soft, warm hay. The next day, as Mortimer crept about, he found good things to eat, cookie crumbs, fruitcake morsels, and spicy peppermint candy. But when Mortimer scampered back up to his new home, the statues were set up again. No, 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 squeaked Mortimer. This won't do. There's no room for me. And so he lugged and he tugged all until the statues were out. And stay out, he said. And then into bed crawled Mortimer. He fell fast asleep in the soft, warm hay. But each day while Mortimer scurried about, the statues were set up again. And Mortimer always lugged and tugged back out. Then one day, Mortimer set out and saw the big people gathered around the tree. He couldn't go there, so he hid among the statues. A man started talking. Mortimer listened, and what he heard was wonderful. Since it's Christmas Eve, I shall tell the Christmas story, said the man. A long time ago, in a little town called Bethlehem, Mortimer heard about people named Joseph and Mary and a bright shining star. He heard about shepherds watching their flocks by night and traveling wise men. The man continued, and there was no room for them at the inn. Then Mortimer heard about a baby who was born in a stable, had no bed, and had to sleep in a wooden manger. A baby born to save the world. And his name shall be called Jesus, said the man. Mortimer looked at the bright shining star on the tree, and he looked at his new home and his new bed, and he looked at the statues. Last of all, he looked at the baby. I see, said Mortimer. You aren't just any statue. You are a statue of Jesus. Mortimer sniffed, and he snuffled, and a tear rolled down his furry cheek. There was no room for you at the inn, but I know where there is room, he said. And so he lugged and he tugged and he dragged everyone back to where they belonged. Last of all, he laid the baby in the manger. This belongs to you, he said. Mortimer smiled. You look warm and cozy now. There was no place for Mortimer to go except back to the cold, cramped, creepy hole. As Mortimer scuttled down the tree, he said a prayer. Jesus, you were born to save the world. Perhaps you could bring me a home? And then Mortimer spied something. What he spied was wonderful. He sighed with delight. A house just my size. There was no statues in sight, and so Mortimer moved right in. Thank you, Jesus, said Mortimer. You've made room for me too. The end. Okay, guys, so today you're going to do a couple of things. You're going to make your J's, okay? So get your marker out, and you're going to trace your J's like a fishing hook. So you start at the top, and you go down and go fishing and back up. Down and go fishing and back up. Down and go fishing and back up. Just like that. And then down here, I want you to try it yourself. Start at the top. Go down, fishing, and back up. Down, fishing, and back up. Down, fishing, and back up. And down, fishing, and back up. See? Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. You're also going to do some counting. When I count, I like to mark the things that I'm counting so I don't count them twice. So I go like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I have to pick the right number. Is this the 5 or is this the 5? This is the 5. Let's count these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Circle the 6. All right, and then you'll do the rest, okay? Last, I have a Jesus craft to go with our story. You're going to get your candy cane and color it in a pattern. You can pick 1 color, 2 colors, 3 colors. You're going to cut it out. Do your best cutting. All the way around. Take your time. Okay, and you take your candy cane and you turn it upside down. So it looks like a big J for Jesus. You're going to cut out the hay for his manger and glue it in the crook of the J. You're going to cut out the baby Jesus, put him in the hay, and then you're going to take the star and glue it on top. And that's your Jesus craft for the day. Happy Monday.